Dave Cowens and the Boston Celtics are about to put a world championship on the line. Awaiting them, Julius Erving and the Philadelphia 76ers. It's pro basketball's most dramatic moment. Game 7 of a playoff series this afternoon on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Motorcraft, quality auto parts for all makes of cars. Motorcraft, tested tough in Alaska. And by Visa, the new name for Bank AmeriCard.
Landover, Maryland. It's all on the line here today for the Washington Bullets as they trail the Houston Rockets 3-2. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Don Crickey. This is Mendy Rudolph. Mendy, they've really got to jack up this crowd already.
Good evening, everybody. So nice to have you with us. What an afternoon we've got for you. Philadelphia, Boston, 7th game. I'm Brent Musburger with Billy Cunningham. Billy, how are these two teams physically?
Both teams are in top-notch shape. The only thing, though, one of these teams are going on a vacation. The other team's progressing to the playoffs.
What did Gene Shue tell Philadelphia that they would have to do in this game?
They have to get off quick. In the 3 games Philadelphia has won, they've got out of the box very quickly and maintained that point edge throughout the whole game.
And what did Tommy Heinsohn stress to the Boston Celtics?
Well, they're going to have to do just the opposite. Contain Philadelphia in the first period, establish their momentum as the game progresses.
So the Celtics now will break the huddle. Tommy Heinsohn with his final instruction. Gene Shue huddled inside the Philadelphia huddle. The starting lineups for this 7th game. Philadelphia will go with Erving, Jones, Bibby, Collins, and McGinnis. Boston will start Rowe, Cowens, Scott, White, and Havlicek. We fully expect to see both benches very active. The Boston Celtics have a 10-1 record in 7th games of playoff series. Their only loss came to the Knicks in Game 7 of the 73 Eastern Conference Finals. This game will be officiated. Jake O'Donnell and Joe Gashu and Manny Sokol will be at the table. The lead man is Jake O'Donnell. And these two teams come out, and what an even series this has been so far. Both teams have broken through once on the visiting team's court. And Cowens has been a pivotal player as he talks to Jake O'Donnell and gets ready. When he clogs the middle and scores effectively, the Celtics have done well.
That's a big key, Brent. Cowens is going to help his teammates out, especially Havlicek against Julius Erving underneath.
Cowens waited and then got the tap to Charlie Scott. Celtics at the familiar green, defending world champions. Set now the first play. Jones out on Cowens, who is high. Inside to Curtis Rowe. Brings it back now to Cowens, who takes the afternoon's first shot. McGinnis, game's first rebound. Pressure by Henry Bibby, number 14. Collins flies down the lane.
That's what the 76ers want to do. Get the ball down the court quickly and create those fast break situations.
Scott is on the left side. Collins on him. Havlicek, who has played more playoff games than any man in history, misses. Scott back. Tied at 2.
Something
Left
the Celtics
side.
haven't done very well against the 76ers in their defeat is penetrating, creating the situations to make Caldwell Jones play his man correctly. Otherwise, he'll be zoning it and blocking shots.
Julius missed his first attempt here in Game 7 with Hondo on him. And again, it's left side, interception, turn it over. Here comes George McGinnis. Collins back to the doctor. Doctor is 0 of 2. Cowens, defense outlet Rowe. Joe White with those 40 points Friday night gives it back. Now they go underneath. Scott had come in on Jones and Collins.
Here's the pass down low to Charlie Scott. Collins committing the foul. Something the officials are going to have to do is gain control of this game very early. For the simple reason it's going to be very physical and it could get a little out of hand.
There's Charlie Scott's statistics coming in. Game is tied at 2. You know the only problem he has in the playoffs, too many fouls. Celts up by 1. Now it's the left side, and it's Bibby handling the ball. McGinnis has not shot as well during the playoffs as he did during the regular season. Here he is in on row. Taking him left baseline on the drive, got the field goal, and a chance for the three-pointer.
Curtis Rowe allowing McGinnis to get the ball low. Good head fake. Getting to the baseline and Curtis pushing him down low. That's something George has to be very happy about in Gene Shue. George needs a couple hoops to get himself going, and he hasn't played up to the standards he is used to playing to during the regular season.
With the Indiana Pacers, George McGinnis was involved in the 7th games 6 times, and the Pacers won 5 of those times. Sixers up by a point. Julius watching Hondo, takes him to the basket and missed. Jones controls the defensive glass. This time Bibby is in the middle and swings right. Bibby regains control.
Bibby is such an important part of this team, getting the ball down the court very quickly.
White took him from baseline to baseline, and there was contact as he came in on Henry.
Now JoJo is doing the same thing here to Bibby that was done at the other end. Getting the ball down the court quickly and Bibby grabbing him on the arm.
White, the 4th highest career playoff score. John Havlicek, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Rick Barry among the active players lead him. JoJo pulls the Celtics to within 2. 6-4, 9:51 to go. We'll be keeping you up to date on the Houston-Washington game as Game 6 of that series unfolds in Landover, Maryland. Again, left side Bibby.
Reminds you of LA quite a bit, their offense, bringing the ball down to left side consistently.
Turn around, Collins off the mark. Cowens with his 2nd defensive board. Cowens outside, and they'll have to watch him out there. Last Sunday, he lit them up frequently from that spot.
That looks like to most people that's this Caldwell Jones' fault, letting him get that shot. But Caldwell's getting back on defense, helping others, and no one's helping him.
Technical foul has just been called on Philadelphia 76er coach Gene Shue. He had been complaining about the foul against Henry Bibby when JoJo White took him baseline to baseline. Celts up by 2 and 9:19 left. Doc on the right side with a pull-up jumper, and there was a foul inside.
That's a tough matchup for John Havlicek because Julius, much taller and great jumping ability, is able to isolate, take him to that one side and jump over him.
Julius was in 7th games of a playoff series twice in the ABA. Last year with the New York Nets, they beat the San Antonio Spurs, but he also played with Virginia, the Squires, when they were beaten by the Nets in the 7th game.
Pat Williams feels that they need a 30-point performance from Julius to be successful today.
And here, Billy, they are tied with 9:05 first quarter. Julius out on Hondo. John rolls. Oh, block shot inside. Caldwell Jones. They got a fresh 24, but there was a foul. Holit is going to come back down on the 3-second violation. Heinsohn protesting. Heinsohn and Killalay now up arguing.
The coaches playing their games now with the officials.
Bibby in the middle. Collins rolled out. JoJo on the move underhand. McGinnis' 2nd rebound. One-handed shot. Down against the photographer, George McGinnis. Havlicek. Both teams moving so well without the basketball right now. Getting open men. Caldwell took an extra step. You know, Billy, Jones has blocked 18 shots in the series. That's 2 more than the entire Boston Celtic team. Now they move the photographers back. As you look at the Philadelphia center, whose responsibility today is David Cowens.
So far, David has 5 rebounds. So we see what effect it has on the defensive boards when Dave does not concern himself with the play of Colwell Jones and just roams the court freely, looking for any opportunity to get those rebounds.
White pressuring Bibby. Here's Cowens outside. Hondo. And tapped up and in by Curtis Rowe.
Well, this is a carryover from the last game between these two teams. Philadelphia being out-rebounded 65-38.
McGinnis again outside. Cowens' 6th rebound. Hondo coming through. A 4-point Boston lead, and I want to remind everybody we'll be going to check in on Washington, Houston, and you fans in Boston and Philadelphia will not be joining that network. We're going to keep you right here. You will not miss a play. The rest of you outside of those 2 areas will be checking in frequently. Inside to McGinnis. From that side, in the hole, he scored 2 field goals already in the first quarter. Charlie Scott. McGinnis active at the defensive glass. Caldwell Jones takes his pass and goes to the hoop.
McGinnis is just dominating for the 76ers at the offensive end and getting on the defensive boards and just getting the ball out very quickly to create those fast breaks.
6:30, first quarter, the Spectrum. White wanted to use the screen, traveling.
What happened on that play? JoJo thought he could create a foul, and he committed the walking violation.
We've got a timeout in the Spectrum. Philadelphia gets a standing ovation.
Mr. Butkus and I have a problem. I do not appreciate American football.
And I don't appreciate rugby.
However, there is one thing we both appreciate. Light beer from Miller. Light contains 1/3 less calories than their regular beer. It's also less filling.
But our favorite thing is the way it tastes.
Quite right, Dickie boy. I'll never like your football, but I do love your light beer.
Mike, I'll never like rugby, but I do love those cute little shorts.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Hello, everybody. Alaska. Tough on people, tough on oil filters. So we took Motorcraft oil filters to Alaska, testing them in 50 GM, Chrysler, and Ford cars and trucks. After 6 rugged months of Alaskan pipeline country, from winter's freeze to the hot, choking dust of summer, only one oil filter couldn't take the punishment. This is Lowell Thomas reminding you, no matter what you drive, wherever you drive, ask for Motorcraft oil filters from Ford. Tested tough in Alaska. So long.
A television premiere on the CBS Wednesday night movies.
Frank, they've seen us.
We saw somebody murdered. Some sort of ritual across the river. A girl got stabbed.
Peter Fonda, Warren Oates, and Loretta Swit. Race with the Devil.
For those of you not watching this game now in Philadelphia and Boston, it's time for you to cut away to Washington with Don Criqui and Mindy Rudolph for an update on that game.
We welcome those of you watching the Philadelphia-Boston game at the Spectrum. Here at Landover, Maryland, the Washington Bullets in white are leading 23-20 over the Houston Rockets. A game that the Houston Rockets could put away this playoff series with a victory here. Washington jumped off to a quick 4-0 lead. Houston came back to take a 12-10 advantage. It's been a very aggressive game, controlled primarily by the guards. And here's one of them, Tom Henderson, going to the basket very quickly against John Lucas.
Tom Henderson with a great move on Lucas. Dwight Jones was caught flat-footed and could help out on the block. And Henderson right now is sparking the Bullets.
Alvin Murphy has scored 4 points so far. He had 40 in Game 5, which Houston won on Friday night to take command of the series 3-2. That's Dwight Jones putting it up. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. It is 25-20. Washington and White in the lead here at Landover, Maryland.
Havlicek pops up a jump shot for the Celts, taken down by Jones, tied at 14. 5:27 to go in the first quarter in the Spectrum. Now keep an eye on Cowens, Billy, because he is really sloughing off a Caldwell Jones in the middle.
He's just literally zoning the play. Look at him there. And another key matchup right now. Fine shot by Cowens. Is Havlicek is now guarding McGinnis. So we look for McGinnis to take him down low.
With Julius Erving on the bench and Steve Mix out, and JoJo White rolling in the running right-handed hook shot. Bibby pressures right side, tied at 16. Havlicek shooting just 2 of 8 so far, but Dave Cowens has yanked down 7 rebounds. Screen, McGinnis shoots.
McGinnis with 8 points.
Havlicek had it knocked out of bounds by Mix. Seconds remaining on the shot clock in the right-hand corner of your screen. Doug Collins goes out to take a rest, and now, of course, we will see Lloyd Free, number 21. Scott pulls up. Sidney Wicks in the lineup. He has also come off the bench.
That's a big factor right there. The offensive boards. The Celtics have 7 offensive rebounds to Philadelphia's 1. So Philadelphia is very fortunate at this point to be up by 2 points.
McGinnis's first foul, Billy. Havlicek, White, Cowens, and Wicks. Also Charlie Scott. Scott. Mix controls the glass for Philly, and here they come. Lloyd Free. Charlie Scott watching him. Free goes baseline and through the foul.
Lloyd Free, before the game told me he was going to go into attack today. Here we'll see Lloyd crossing over, going up, Charlie just bumping him a little and causing the foul.
Billy, Lloyd has scored a total of 50 points in the 3 games that Philadelphia has won, and in the 3 losses he has just 36 points. So for an indication of what might happen, let us watch Lloyd Free, who likes to be called all-world. 4-point Philadelphia lead, 2016. Don't forget the doubleheader game coming your way on CBS as Free now goes after Hondo. Caldwell Jones had cut Havlicek off.
Well, what happened on that play? Havlicek forced Caldwell Jones. We'll take a look at it, and we'll see Havlicek causes Caldwell Jones to commit himself and then draws the foul. I think John's theme song should be Old Man River.
172 NBA playoff games. That River has played in almost twice as many playoff games as the entire Philadelphia roster combined. A 3-point 76er lead. 3:40 first quarter. Golden State, Los Angeles, and Denver, Portland coming up next on CBS. Mixed dueling Wicks, backs him in. And drew the foul, says Joe Gashu.
Mix going to his left. Now on this play, Steve usually likes to turn back to his left, but instead he goes towards the basket and draws the foul. I think Sidney Wicks anticipated him coming back.
Billy, it would seem to me that Gene Shue has told Mix to try and regain some offensive control of that middle, to try and get down in low McGinnis on one side, because Cowens has been so effective, as you see the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, who just more or less bent right out of your picture. There he is, Fitz Dixon.
We'll see 2 different styles of coaching concerning the bench. The Celtics will go with 6-7 players. The 76ers might go as deep as 9.
22-17, a 5-point advantage for the 76ers, who wanted that quick start here in the Spectrum. Scott. Wicks controls, second chance, and it'll be JoJo White. Cowens tipped it back up. Off come the 76ers. So the Celtics go 0 for 3 that trip down. Free. Cowens again inside control by the big redhead.
That's 9 rebounds for Cowens in this first period.
On the steal, and then the Celtics tried to get it back, and there was a foul. Going to have a timeout. Tommy Heinsohn will bring the Boston Celtics over. The situation is this. We are tied, 3 victories apiece. Game 7 is unfolding.
Hey, if you love coffee like I do, you probably drink hundreds of cups a year. And wouldn't it be nice if every cup were perfect every time? I mean, this one exactly like that one. Well, everyone can be if you get Norelco's Dial-A-Brew. It makes coffee exactly the way you want it. Light, medium, dark. Pay less, you can pay more. But you can't buy a finer coffee maker. And only Norelco has Dial-A-Brew.
Dial-A-Brew.
You know what's one of the toughest weeds in your lawn? The dandelion. Because dandelions have roots up to 2 feet long. And if you don't get it all, it just grows back. What you need is Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. It gets rid of the whole dandelion, root and all, and 40 other weeds too, while it helps thicken your lawn with Turf Builder fertilizer. So take care of your weeds as well as your lawn with Turf Builder Plus 2 from Scott's.
And in a move of staggering significance, Bank AmeriCard is changing its name to Visa. Visa. Soon the most widely recognized card in the world will open doors for you at 2 million merchants. Visa will be welcome in the U.S. and 110 countries around the world. And remember, till your Visa comes, your Bank AmeriCard is still good. Visa.
Visa. We're keeping up with you.
The Alamo. Against desperate odds, they fought the epic battle for Texas independence.
Hey, frontal attack!
John Wayne,
We need more men!
Richard Widmark, and Lawrence Harvey in The Alamo. Sunday night at 8, 7 Central.
Henry Bibby and the Philadelphia 76ers ahead 22-17. The Celtics have shot only 29% from the field, 6 of 21 so far. Welcome those of you who have been watching Washington and Houston all along. 2:47 to go in the first quarter. Boston with the ball, trailing Philadelphia in the 7th and decisive game, 24-17. Dave Cowens has been devastating on the boards. An offensive foul is called.
That's Charlie Scott's second foul. So far, the big factor in this game has not been the way 76ers have contained the Celtics. It's just the Celtics' ineffectiveness to convert the offensive rebounds into 2 points.
Havlicek hitting just 2 of 8. Cowens 1 of 5. Philadelphia sets up. Julius Erving on the bench right now. McGinnis and Mix are the forwards. Wicks switches off quickly on Bibby and picked him clean. Sidney Wicks now in a race. Mix comes back and fouled him.
There was no question about that foul.
Jack McMahon, the Philadelphia assistant, talking to Doug Collins, who is also out. Henry Bibby now working at guard with Lloyd Free. .2:19 left in the first quarter. It is Philadelphia 24, Boston 19. Guinness out far away from the basket.
That's surprising to me. I would think they'd try and get George down lower, at least on the offensive boards against Havlicek.
Free missing outside. Ball goes out of bounds and to Boston. Bibby pressures the inbounds pass. Cowens to help out. Desperately trying to get back, and it was Lloyd Free who outraced Charlie Scott. Bibby with control. Third shot coming up. It's McGinnis. And the Celtics have it after Philly goes 0 for 3. Havlicek. Hondo off to JoJo. Havlicek off the mark in the first quarter.
There's a lid on that basket for the Celtics.
Wicks came around, left-handed it out of bounds. 1:22 left first quarter. Curtis Rowe. Havlicek goes out for a rest. Backing in on Rowe. Turnaround. A little too high, and there again was Cowens.
That's his 10th rebound in this quarter.
Celtics down by 5 because they have not shot well. 1 minute left, first quarter. Scott, partially blocked. Caldwell Jones wants free. Scott is there. Goes to Boston.
Those are the type of passes that give a coach gray hairs.
Jones dueling Cowens in the middle. Cowens pops out quickly with that jump shot, and here comes Henry Bibby out of the pack. It's free. He'll pull up this time, and free is off. Last 30 seconds, first quarter. Missed again.
Both teams are extremely cold here the last 5 minutes.
The pressures of a 7th game.
But I think that's the answer, the pressure. They'll calm down here in the second period and go out and play their style of basketball.
Letting the clock go down. It was Sidney Wicks who was short that time. McGinnis tried to come out. Cowens stayed there and dueled the ball. And the clock has stopped. So it was Cowens pressuring the ball. At the end of 1, Philadelphia leads by 5.
Changing to Cam 2 motor oils like falling in love.
A running and a racing to make it the best. Cam 2. Stock cars, Indy cars, and all the rest. Cam 2. Change your own to Cam 2 alone. It's tough. You'll love it. Cam 2.
Can you imagine racing this oil for 8 years? If it's tough enough for them, it's tough enough for me.
Cam 2. You know it's tough, and you love it.
Aerosol. Not an economical way to apply deodorant. In fact, you'd use up this 4-ounce can of the leading aerosol, buy another, use it up, buy a third, use it up, before you'd use up 1 2.5-ounce Speed Stick. Men, Speed Stick is solid deodorant. An even, effective layer of protection you apply directly. Nothing's wasted. That's why 1 million more Americans took our advice last year. They got off the can. They got on the stick.
I'm Julius Erving of the Philadelphia 76ers, here to talk about the Peace Corps. The Peace Corps needs skilled volunteers of all ages, men and women willing to use their expertise to better lives. When I was young, a lot of people went out of their way to help me. That's what the Peace Corps is asking you to do. Go out of your way to help others, and you help yourself. Join the Peace Corps, a part of action.
This public service message is brought to you by the Ad Council and the NBA.
In the first quarter, the Boston Celtics shot only 21% and Philadelphia 31%. 24-19. And Julius Erving checking back in for Gene Shue. It will be Jones, Erving, free, and I would imagine that Doug Collins is back as you see Turquoise Erving, the lovely wife of Julius, sitting and watching her husband go back to work.
The roar of the crowd is for the entrance of Darryl Dawkins into the game. Ready to check in.
Dawkins talking to Coach Shue on the sideline right now.
You can't see the court. He's standing in front of you.
It drops to the doctor. So Julius maneuvers inside, and he has scored 4 points. Pressured outside. Boston regains control.
Mix going in low to Erving. Nothing you can do when he gets in that close.
That hand is for Darryl Dawkins, number 53.
Darryl had a quote in the paper after the 4th game of the playoff series that
we've got a fight between an usher and a fan that has been broken up now quickly. Down there in the corner, the usher and the fan were swinging at each other, and 2 other ushers came over as JoJo White hit that field goal. So we've got pressure on the floor, around the floor. You get a score from Washington with the Bullets needing to win here in the 6th game, trailing 3 games to 2. So things quiet down. Erving misses, and the Doctors got it back. Mix. Curtis Rowe. It's 26-21. 10:55. White. 2 field goals by JoJo, who scored 40 Friday night in Boston. 9 points for White already here in the Spectrum.
It's beauty to watch the Celtics execute a fast break.
Bibby will come back in for Philadelphia. Havlicek now at guard. 3 came up, and Tommy Boswell was there.
That's JoJo's 2nd foul.
Dave Cowens foregoing a shave here on May Day. There is plenty of time for Dave Cowens to shave if the Boston Celtics lose today. There tells the story. Both teams cold. 4-point Philadelphia lead. 10:33 for the half. Make it 5. And don't forget Jimmy the Greek and Red Auerbach coming up at halftime here on CBS, and our doubleheader here on this Sunday. Golden State, Los Angeles, and Denver, Portland. White, 11 points for JoJo.
Tough shot.
So just as he did Friday night, it is that shooting touch of JoJo White that has Boston right there. 28-25, 3.76er lead.
As soon as he hit that jump shot, Henry Bibby was off the bench to go in there to guard JoJo.
He's still waiting here to come in as Free misses on a turnaround. Off quickly to Sidney Wicks. But the 76ers get back, and it was big Darryl Dawkins who barreled in, and this time White misses. Came back against Julius, who has control. Off to Collins, who gets inside. Collision underneath the hoop with Curtis Rowe. Oh, we've got a timeout in Philadelphia. 9:42 for the half.
Talk to 9 people about where to find a good radial tire, and you'll probably get 9 different answers. Well, here's one place you can count on. Sears. And this is Sears Guardsman Radial, priced from $29.88 for subcompacts to $49 for full-size cars. Guardsman. From compacts to Cadillacs, Sears' lowest priced radial. And you know they're good. They're backed by Sears. Sears, for straight talk, good values, and satisfaction.
From the people who brought you Die-Hard batteries, road handler tires, and Steady Rider shock absorbers comes the Sears Muzzler. The aluminized muffler tough enough to be sold by Sears. So tough, Sears promises that the muzzler will last as long as you own your American-made car, or return it for refund or replacement free. And if Sears installed it, they'll install the new one free. The Muzzler, the muffler tough enough to be sold by Sears.
It's an outboard kind of a day.
And what a way to go on a great, big, beautiful day.
Johnson Outboards.
Built to make any good boat better. Exciting in performance.
Johnson Outboards.
Great for family fun.
Johnson Outboards.
Proven dependability with 15 power choices from the little fishing motors to the world's most powerful 200 horsepower V6.
Johnson Outboards.
Little wonder the world runs more Johnsons than any other outboard.
This Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports presents NBA playoff action, followed on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. with a playoff doubleheader. That's NBA playoff action Friday night at 11:30 p.m. and a doubleheader on Sunday tipping off at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
The veteran referee's happy to be back at work again, and none happier than Manny Sokol, who today is the alternate. A referee who loves his work, and Havlicek was complaining out there. That foul was on Sidney Wicks, so he now has 2.
It appeared to me that Collins was trying to pass the ball back to Julius Erving on that play. And Jake O'Donnell might have been blocked out a little, and thought Collins was trying to shoot the basket.
Portland leading Denver 3-1. Los Angeles over Golden State 3-2. We could have 4 series come to an end this afternoon on CBS, or we could have 3 continue. Only one certainty. This particular series will end 9:37 to the end of the first half. In now to Cowens. Jump shot. Inside, Rowe stuffed it.
Gene Shue has to be very concerned in the way the 76ers are, what type of job they're doing up their defensive board, because they're not doing any kind of a job as of now.
Pickens had it blocked.
That was
Here's
some play
JoJo
by
White.
Havlicek.
9 minutes left in the first half. White after the fake. Dawkins couldn't hold on, and Hondo was there. Bibby assessed the personal. That's his second.
The Celtics are just out-hustling the 76ers on the offensive board.
Caldwell Jones checks back in. George McGinnis out there. You know, Billy, I don't think Gene Shue can settle on a lineup here.
Well, I think he feels the players are a little uptight with this game. A little nervous, possibly give them a little breather, let themselves get themselves together and get back out on the court. Because that's what he did with Julius and Collins, took them out early in the first period and put Mix in. So he's giving everybody a little taste of what it's like. So if they do get to a critical situation, they'll be comfortable.
The 5 76ers out there now: McGinnis, Jones, Collins, Bibby, and Erving. They come back on the attack, leading by a point, and 8:48 to go here in the second quarter. Rowe comes out on McGinnis, and look how much daylight Cowens gives Jones. McGinnis gave it up, but not before he traveled. 76ers have turned it over.
That's why it's so important to get your center involved in the offense. We see Caldwell Jones just standing there having nothing to do, and Dave Cowens realizing that, just clogging the middle and creating that walking violation by George McGinnis.
Cowens looking in, out away from the basket. McGinnis hand checks Rowe. Charlie Scott. Bibby crumbs cross left to Collins, who pulls up on Hondo. Only one shot as Rowe controlled the glass for Heinsohn. Here's Scott. Off to the doctor. Erving, and Cowens was there. Update now from Washington. Bullets needing to win to force a 7. Shot was tipped underneath, and Charlie Scott was dueling, and he has traveled.
The 76ers just have to feel very fortunate to be in the position they are, the way they've been getting so out-rebounded at both ends of the court. And Cowens has just been dominating the defensive end and sagging and zoning the play.
Collins puts the Sixers up by 3.
Charlie Scott appears hurt his back.
He is indeed rubbing it with his right hand, Billy.
He had that problem in the 5th game here. It looked like he was going to be taken out of the game.
Rowe. Jones with control. Collins waits for McGinnis and gave him a screen. Saw it coming all the way, and George could not bury it. And Bibby was complaining that he was fouled by Cowens. White. So JoJo White now with 13 of the Celtics' 31 points. Sixers lead it by 1. 6:40 to go, first half.
With the Celtics maintaining that great advantage on the boards, they're able to control Philadelphia's fast break.
Havlicek. Collins gets it back. And Cowens lost control at the fingertips as Collins comes back in. I've just been told by Jimmy the Greek that Earl Morrall will retire from the Miami Dolphins. At halftime, the Greek will talk about Tony Dorsett.
Volkswagen celebrates the millionth rabbit with a rabbit that looks like a million.
It's a champagne edition. It's got class. The color's a guess.
It's too much. Seats soft to the touch.
It's got side stripes.
It's sure out of sight.
It It's a limited Volkswagen Champagne Edition. Bebop, bebop, bebop. Hey, hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those moves? You move with such grace.
Are you a member of the human race?
Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those moves?
You're an artist, you're a wizard, and you blow up thin air. Everybody's wondering,
how'd you get there? Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those moves? Are you wearing magic shoes?
He's wearing Converse, the shoes of the stars.
Sometimes all those monthly bills get to be almost too much to manage. That's where Beneficial comes in. The all-in-one loan from Beneficial is cash to clean up all or most of those bills. And chances are, extra cash left over. Just one convenient payment a month, often smaller than those current monthly payments put together. The all-in-one loan at Beneficial, where you're good for more.
At Beneficial, you're good for more.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular will feature live a hard-hitting fight card with Olympic gold medalist Leon Spinks taking on Pedro Augusto in a heavyweight matchup. Gold medalist Michael Spinks goes against Luis Rodriguez in a light heavyweight contest. Heavyweight Lee Canelito tangles with Jerry Cooney, and heavyweight Olympic medalist John Tate makes his professional debut against Jerry Tompkins. That's next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
For those of you watching in Philadelphia and Boston, you will stay right here. The rest of you will go to Washington to Don Criqui and Mindy Rudolph for an update of that game.
We welcome our Boston, Philadelphia viewers here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. The Washington Bullets, as you see, are holding to a 9-point lead. They're led by backcourt player Phil Chenier with 11 points. Kevin Greavy scored 8. Elvin Hayes has 8. Unsell with 7. Tom Janovich leads the Houston Rockets with 8 points. Both teams with the Washington Bullets in the white uniforms and Houston in red are trying to get the ball inside to their big men.
The rest of the audience is back, and the Celtics are ahead on a JoJo White shot with 5:48 to go. Boston now leading. The 76ers can get it back. It's 33-32 right now. The Celtics.
Right now, Cowens is just dominating the defensive end of the court. For the simple reason, as we pointed out, he's just zoning. That's his area. He's put up a tent out there in the middle of the lane, and whatever anything or anybody comes by that way, he's there to defend them.
Philadelphia hitting only 2 of 12 this quarter. Let's see what happens when they squeeze the trigger the 13th time. They have missed it again. And now the Celts can go up by 3. Cowens. Maybe with possession in 5:16 first half. The doctor puts on a move. And a follow-up by Lloyd Free. 5:06 in Philadelphia. Welcome those of you from Houston, Washington. Philadelphia up by a point. The lead starting to seesaw right now. 4:53 first half. Havlicek of the Celtics with the ball, and Scott came inside and drew the foul as he rolled up the shot. That's Caldwell Jones, number 11, says Joe Gashu.
There's Charlie driving the middle. They could have taken either one. It looked like Lloyd Free or Caldwell Jones fouled him.
Billy Cunningham, George McGinnis yanked down 6 rebounds, but all in the first quarter, and Gene Shue has been sending one player after another in this game off his bench, trying to relieve the tension, trying to calm everybody down.
Henry Bibby also has 6 rebounds, so that shows you the problem the 76ers are having on the boards. Henry Bibby is the smallest player on the 76ers, and you shouldn't be going that way. It should be the big men getting the ball off the boards.
And with 4:40 to go in the first half, Philadelphia tries to break up the deadlock. The doctor backs in on Havlicek.
Well, we see the 76ers just standing around, just playing one-on-one basketball, and this is a problem when you're not shooting well.
White. He has been the main man, just as he was on Friday night. 17 points already for JoJo White. Gene Shue checking the timeout situation in the first half. The doctor turns around on Hondo, uses the glass, and ties it as Heinzen looks in. .357 to go. In the first half, we're tied at 36. McGinnis muscling his way for that rebound. Erving on a move. Knocks it over. Cowens. Oh, we have brought everybody up in the spectrum.
You don't have to say a word when you see this play. Watch this. Wham!
Oh, showtime. They are on their feet. They have brought the spectrum crowd alive. A slam dunk by the doctor. Timeout. 3:34 to go in the first half. Do it one more time, doctor.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
In open heart surgery, we're responsible for this purifying machine. It filters the patient's blood before it returns to his heart. We rely on special filters made by Purolator. After all, we can't afford to take a chance. That's why I insist on Purolator filters for my car. I know I can buy less expensive filters, but I rely on Purolator. And I have my oil changed regularly because I can't afford to take a chance.
When you can't afford to take a chance.
Port of call, South Pacific.
Liberty call, Liberty call.
The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
A television premiere on the CBS Wednesday night movies.
Frank, they've seen us. We saw somebody murdered.
Some sort of ritual across the river. A girl got stabbed.
Peter Fonda, Warren Oates, and Loretta Swit. Race with the Devil.
Billy, what happened Wednesday night when the doctor came up with a dunk like that?
Score was 20 all. Before you knew it, it was 30-20 at the end of the first period, and that was the game.
No question about that move igniting the crowd. Wicks can tie it, and he does. So a big psychological moment for the Celtics, and Sidney Wicks was equal to it. Deadlocked at 38 and 3:15. Washington ahead of Houston by 4. Showdown Sunday on CBS. Game 7. Erving again. Now it is Wicks yanking it down. And the second quarter, the tempo has gone upbeat here in the Spectrum. Wicks on a move inside. Couldn't come through. Out of bounds. And it'll stay in the Celtics' possession. His first playoff. Sidney Wicks never made the playoffs with the Portland Trail Blazers. His old team coming up later today. A chance to put away the Denver club, playing for Larry Brown, trailing 3-1. Here it's Cowens. McGinnis had it slapped away by Scott, but Bibby was there. Tied with 2:50 to go, first half. McGinnis wants inside. And for Sidney Wicks, his third foul. McGinnis laces the sneaker.
On that last play, McGinnis, hearing the whistle, should have thrown the basketball towards the hoop. Even if he didn't make it, the simple reason he would have gotten a 2-shot foul instead of the ball out on the side.
Billy, more than a loose shoelace, trainer Al Domenico out there with George McGinnis, a 20-second injury timeout for the Philadelphia 76ers. We are tied at 38, 2:45. Gene Shue and Domenico come back now to the sideline for Philadelphia. For Gene Shue, well, not particularly more pressure today than any day during the season. He's been under the gun all year long with this talent. Here's Free on the turnaround. And Free duels inside and comes back. Got great leaping ability, Billy.
Here's Lloyd going up. Now watch him once he hits the floor, getting back in the flow of the game, getting the ball. 2 points. That's what the 76ers need more of if they want to get any type of a lead against this great Celtic team.
Inside to Scott. Tied again, and 2:09. So the Celtics have answered 2 moments here in the first half. The slam dunk by the Doctor and Lloyd Freeh's offensive control.
The Celtics is starting to convert those easy shots.
Free again. Wouldn't stay down, but he drew the foul from Charlie Scott. If you're wondering about Free, he is 2 of 11 from the field. And Steve Mix is back in. Julius Erving goes out. So now for Philadelphia, Curtis Rowe coming in for Boston. For Philadelphia, we have Mix, Free at the line, Bibby, Jones, and McGinnis. And for Boston, we've got Cowens, Rowe, Scott, White, and now Fred Saunders checks back in.
Well,
Saunders replaces Scott, and Havlicek goes to guard.
I think the big reason we're seeing Wicks and Scott leaving the game with the 3 personal fouls with 1:51 to go in the half and a tie score. Tommy Heinsohn wants to make sure he has all of his players ready for the second half.
Up by 2 go the 76ers. 10 points overall for Free. He's been a factor at that free throw line, and Free was hooking. It's his first, and he protested.
The reason that foul was called on Lloyd Free is he didn't have anybody helping him, talking to him, letting him know that there was a pick.
Philadelphia has now reached the penalty limit with that foul. Mix and Saunders were colliding, and Saunders is called offense for swinging with the elbow. You could see the contact coming. 1:33 left in the first half. Game 7, Philadelphia, Boston from the Spectrum. Free. A 4-point Philadelphia lead, and Lloyd Free put it there.
Lloyd has 10 points in this second quarter.
Great pass inside to Saunders, and Jones was there, and Gashu says he fouled him.
And if Joe Gashu says he fouled him, he fouled him.
He must be right. 3 fouls on Jones.
That's tough for us to tell from this angle if that was a foul or not.
Daryl Dawkins, number 53, Billy, has moved back in, and Jones will sit down. Celtics down by 3. Trail by a field goal. 1:12 left, first half. Joe just informs me that Caldwell went out, Billy, having blocked 5 shots already in this game. I believe he came in with 16. That's 21 already for the series. Nix muscles up a shot. Contact as he came up. And Saunders picks up 2 fouls in a hurry.
I don't know on this play. Mix faking. It looked like he created a lot of that contact himself, jumping into Saunders.
Nix will be at the line. 52 seconds to go. Welcome those of you who've been watching Washington against Houston. It is Philadelphia 44, Boston 42. And that's the score of the game you were just watching. For the rest of our audience, of course, Washington must win today. It's the 6th game of that series to force a 7th game. So we have 4 series in the NBA that could come to an end today on CBS, or 3 could continue. Now 46-42. Boston bringing it up against Philadelphia. JoJo White with 17 points leads the Celts. Curtis Rowe drove inside. Foul by McGinnis.
get his second personal foul.
Assistant coach John Killalay of the Boston Celtics. He must have been in the arena about 8 o'clock this morning checking the baskets, wasn't he, Billy?
Jack McMahon was checking them, and he was. That's the job of the assistant coaches. Heinsohn probably questioned him after the first period.
Well, Heinsohn and Shue are such basket cases by along about the fourth quarter. It's usually McMahon and Killalay that wind up running everything. Although I must say Tommy Heinsohn has been extremely quiet today.
He was very quiet in the fifth game here in Philadelphia.
Off Dawkins' hands, regains control, and came up with all the strength that he can muster. 25 seconds, 48-43. Sixers lead the Celtics. Heinsohn yelling the play. JoJo lost control. 2-on-1. Free pressures. White and Free goes to the basket. A second quarter explosion. 14 points by Lloyd Free. Philadelphia goes up. Saunders comes up with the jump shot. Technical foul has been called as Steve Mix came out on Gushue.
That's a bad technical by Mix at that point. You know, you have a 7-point lead right now. Your team has the momentum. You don't want to, and 4 seconds left in the period, try and gain control of yourself. I've committed enough personal fouls and technical fouls myself not to be critical, but it was a big call. He shouldn't have done it.
So White misses the technical.
Oh, it was a great play by Steve Mix. He knew he'd miss it.
You're like all the rest.
Oh, yeah. That's like the coach. The player shoots a 30-footer, and the coach is ready to put in a substitute, yelling and screaming, and it goes in. He said, great shot, great shot.
Now it is Saunders who is fouled, and the Celtics have gone 0 for 2. Trailing by 7. 4 seconds left first half.
The 76ers will get the ball into Lloyd Free and let him go the length of the court. And he has plenty of time, 4 seconds to get down and get a decent shot.
Havlicek is watching Free at midcourt. Here are the final 4. McGinnis wants Dawkins off his hands, and Cowens yanks it back 1 second out of bounds. We have come to the end of the first half of Game 7. Philadelphia with 3 victories. Boston with 3. 24 minutes to determine who will advance.
Hi, I'll be doing your tune-up. Oh, you notice my badge. Mr. Goodwrench isn't my real name. That's Bob Selby. But I'm proud of what this badge stands for. It means I know your GM car. It also means I have genuine GM parts, designed especially for GM cars. Thanks, Jimmy. Hey, why don't you grab a cup of coffee over to the customer's lounge? Tell them Bob Selby sent you. Mr. Goodwrench.
Take the Schick Challenge. It's our Schick razor against your razor. Shave this side of your face with your razor, the other side with ours. To make that easier, we'll give you a Schick razor free. You'll get a Schick Super 2 or Injector razor free when you buy the blades in these specially marked packages. Take the Schick Challenge. We figure once you try our shave, you'll never go back to your shave. It's your face. Let Schick love it.
When you buy the world's best-selling jeans, you get good-fitting, great-looking heavy denim jeans. And you get some very impressive stitching on the back pockets. They cost around $15.
When you buy plain pockets from JCPenney, you get good-fitting, great-looking heavy denim jeans, and you get absolutely nothing on the back pockets. But they only cost $10.
No kidding. Plain pockets, only at JCPenney. The big difference between us and them is the pocket and the price.
Hey, what's going on here? Hold it. This is Calvin Murphy, the great guard for the Houston Rockets. Now, it's a bit unusual to see this greatness transferred from basketball into something like baton twirling. What are you trying to do to me? This is a basketball show.
Well, twirling goes along with basketball for me, as far as dexterity is concerned.
Is that right?
Yes.
Does it work with your fingers?
Yes, it's giving me great finger control with the baton, along with controlling the basketball with my fingers.
Now, Calvin Murphy, being one of the smallest, if not the smallest guard ever to be so great in the NBA, there are two sides to this. We've discussed this many times. The bigger guys get you, they take you in a pivot, they try to muscle you. You're strong, you're quick, they don't fool around. But there's two sides to it. You're little, you're close to the ground, they got to get you. And that's where that dexterity comes in.
No question about it. If you can hold this and if we can just change for a second. First of all, because of my fingertip control, I feel that I have the advantage on the larger individual. He has to come down to 5'9" size if he wants to ball.
Yeah, like if I'm 6'4", so I got to come down here. That makes me off balance.
All right, now I have the advantage. I know what I'm going to do with the ball. I can control it. He's out of sync with his body. He cannot move the way I can because of my size.
That's right. I'm too tall, and I've got to bend down to your size.
Right, I'm already down here, so I have the advantage.
You see, what we're trying to say is, all you people out there, and you youngsters, 5'8", 5'9", 5'7", don't give excuses that you're too small. If you can work at it, pay the price, and do the job, always remember, you're close to the ground. The ball is on the floor here. You can keep bouncing that ball. He's got to come down to you. So remember that. All right, Calvin, let's see a few dexterity drills. Ridiculous. All right, now how does that relate if you're going to twirl the baton?
Well, I'm dribbling with my fingers here.
Watch this, watch this. He doesn't even have to watch anything. He's looking at the camera. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that control. This has played a part in that. I remember Calvin Murphy when he was young, and he always could work with that baton and work with that ball, and you kept up both.
Celtics looking now to pop somebody free and start a charge. Mick stepped out to double team. Here is Scott, who will take it outside. And it was Mix with rebounding position. 5:34, 81-72 Philadelphia. A 9-point difference right now. Philadelphia was favored by some by as many as 7 points. They're up by 9 right now. White comes around behind the screen. Traveling is the call with 5:20 to go.
Both teams are a little fatigued, but there's no time to get tired. With 5 minutes to go, and either you're going on your vacation or you're going on to the semifinals.
Inside to Sidney Wicks, who pops up with a big jump shot. 81-74, 7-point difference. 5 minutes and timeout in the Spectrum. Gene Shue with his playbook. And 42 seconds left. Houston clinging to that 2-point lead. If Houston wins, they will go to the Eastern Conference Final against the winner of this series. We'll know who that will be in 5 minutes and 1 second here in the Spectrum. Shue tries to bring his talented forces together for what could be the last 5 minutes for the team you're looking at now.
Big thing for both teams. The 76ers are going to try and run the clock as much as they can offensively, but this means they have to execute their plays. They have to do something besides just playing the one-on-one. The Celtics, they're going to try and stop them from executing those plays and get their fast break going, pound those offensive boards.
How much energy do you think John Havlicek, JoJo White, and Dave Cowens have left?
Well, you look at the stats for JoJo in the second half, and you have to say he's got to be a little tired. Havlicek has to be a little tired. John will have played 47 minutes today if he plays the rest of the game, only resting 1 minute. JoJo not having one field goal goal, one foul shot in the second half.
And for Gene Shue, Mix, Collins, they're ready to come back in. Caldwell Jones now at center. Jones had those 4 fouls. Let me run down the foul situation. Jones, of course, with 5. McGinnis with 5. Havlicek with 4. Charlie Scott with 5. Free, Collins, Erving, Jones, and Mix on the floor. Rebounding. There it is. Against White, Havlicek, Wicks, Cowens, and Scott inside of 5 minutes. 7-point Philadelphia lead. Collins threw one up. Offensive foul. Doug Collins picked up the foul on the drive. 4:46. Celtics can pull to within 5. Now JoJo White, as Billy has pointed out, not scoring in this half. He's 0 for 12 from the field. Here he is, giving it up to Havlicek. Wouldn't stay down. Erving pursues it down in the corner.
Well, the Celtics got the shot they wanted. They had excellent movement, but the ball just wouldn't drop for them.
Philadelphia up by 7, 4:23. One shot is Cowens. Rebound 25. Intercepted free on the outlet after Havlicek had it. George McGinnis will check back in. Shue unhappy that the 76ers didn't work it in there quickly for a shot. Cowens over on Erving. Back to the doctor. Cowens got a hand on it, and here come the Celtics. They can pull to within 5.
Get him out!
3:48 left. Not this time. Back come the 76ers. And Houston, 107, Washington 103, so it looks like Houston. But still 25 seconds left in that game. And here we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It's still to come, the doubleheader game on CBS. Free inside, free up. Only one shot, Wicks off. And again, it is still 81-74. Celts can pull to within 5. 3:15 on the clock now. White looks in. Scott maneuvers. Cross court now to Cowens. Cowens inside pass. It was a foul, but the ball did not go in on the shot.
Good cross-court pass by JoJo White, and there's Charlie Scott right there getting fouled by Steve Mix, gambling to block the shot.
3 fouls on Mix. 3:09 on the clock. 81-74.
Gene Shue has to be a little concerned right now. The team is not doing what they do best, and they've had opportunities to do it, and that's run their fast break and capitalize on situations. They've been trying to just run the clock a little too much, and there's plenty of time to go in this game.
It's a 6-point difference. The last 3 minutes. Wicks is on McGinnis right now. Jones comes out with a pick. Cowens switches over. Erving there, and so's Hondo, and Erving wants the corner. Underhands it. 7-point. 83-75. I think I said 7. Actually, it's 8 with 2:39. So an 8-point difference right now. 4 field goals.
Celtics have to move the ball. They only have 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
Must hurry now. Cowens hits a big hoop for Boston. 6-point Philadelphia lead. 2:19 to go.
Well, the Sixers, they have 3 players they'll go to right now. That's Lloyd, Free, Collins, or Erving.
Free, short, and there was Caldwell Jones. So a break. As Free forced one off against White.
That's exactly right. Bad shot, and they were just fortunate to get that rebound. That's happened a couple times to the Celtics down the stretch.
Now Erving coming the other way. Offense is the call. 2 fouls on the doctor. 6-point difference. 83-77. 1 minute and 52 seconds left.
Let's take a look and see what happened here. Julius must have been pushing off with his right arm, but I just couldn't see it.
Wicks misses, and Collins with the rebound. 1:42 on the clock.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to Lloyd Free. Here's a guy who comes in here, has been criticized quite a bit, but he shows a lot of heart and a lot of confidence in himself, just taking over this game.
McGinnis. Cowens was there to meet him. Great defensive play. And JoJo White shoots up and misses. We welcome the Houston-Washington crowd. Loose ball foul. Quickly 1:17 to go. And it's 83-77. Philadelphia ahead of Tommy Heinsohn's Boston Celtics. And the final score, congratulations to Houston and Coach Tom Nissalke. They now advance to the Eastern Conference Final against the winner of this game. We've got an injury timeout. Al Domenico going out now. Havlicek is furious about something. He and Jake O'Donnell. Charlie Scott comes over. Now we're going to have a confrontation at the table. And of course the third official, Manny Sokol, is over there. He can keep a check on the timing, the scoring. Havlicek still not accepting O'Donnell's explanation. 1:17 up on the scoreboard, 83-77. So a 6-point difference, 1 minute and 17 seconds to go. And the countdown begins for the world champion.
What a turnabout in one season. Celtics, Phoenix in the finals last year. Neither one will make it to the semifinals.
3 with the shot clock going down. Uses it all. With a miss, Boston now can pull to within 4, but they must hurry inside of a minute. He must shoot, but he traveled. White turned it over. 47 seconds, and they're standing up in the spectrum. Everyone feels this is it. It looks like Philadelphia and Houston for the Eastern Conference Championship. Time is run out on the men in green. Erving resumes, only 1 second left at the buzzer. They don't get a fresh 24. Hold on, they don't get a fresh 24. He didn't hit the rim. It's still 83-77, 21 seconds to go.
Before the game's over, we'd like to say something for Doug Cowens. His dad, Paul Cowens, is going into the hospital tomorrow for an operation, and we wish him all the best.
He has to be happy, Billy, see what's happening. Cowens took the lob pass underneath, muscled up, wouldn't go. Everyone's screaming. Countdown begins. It is over. It is all over. 83-77. Look at the crowd here in the spectrum. Look at the fans. 83-77. The Philadelphia 76ers have advanced into the Eastern Conference Final against the Houston Rockets. Houston beats Washington.
They're coming up on
top of the baskets, taking down the nets.
What's going to happen if they get to the finals?
83-77. Let me say one thing right now. I want to praise the Boston Celtics. They lost a tough game. They didn't have as much depth, nor did they have as much overall talent as Philadelphia. It's a high-class organization. They wore that crown well. They played well. They simply ran out of time. And now it is the Philadelphia 76ers who go on.
I couldn't say another word except what you said. Agree with it, Brent. The Celtics, they've been the class of basketball for years, and a team that I respect a great deal.
And there is the basket, Billy C. Tell me about the jump that put him up there to begin with.
I don't know. All of a sudden he appeared there out of nowhere.
Look at him. You talk about determination. That net is going home. He is not sharing that twine. And they are telling everyone tickets go on sale for the Houston series. And a reminder still what's to come on CBS. Portland against Denver. Portland can wrap it up. Los Angeles against Golden State. And let's hope he doesn't forget to bring that net back when the Houston series begins. They may need that. Now checking for a safe place to land. It's the human fly in the spectrum. What's he going to do up there? Here he comes. Oh, I hope that was a friend he tossed it to.
You know something about that second half, though, Brent? You realize that the 76ers scored a total of 33 points in the second half, and the Celtics were only able to score 36. I think we were watching two teams that just showed you what the word heart means. Going out there exhausted, just pushing themselves and forcing themselves to never quit.
Billy, let me look ahead here real quickly. How does Houston play Philadelphia?
So far, the 76ers have been able to do an excellent job against Houston during the regular season. McGinnis, in their last meeting against Houston, had a great game, possibly his best game of the season against Houston, who had won 9 or 10 consecutive games. But they were blown right off the court. Of course, the game was played here in Philadelphia.
All right, Billy Cunningham coming up next on CBS. Can Portland eliminate Denver? They lead them 3-1. Can Los Angeles and the marvelous Kareem Abdul-Jabbar dispose of Rick Barry and the Golden State Warriors? They lead that series 3-2. Here in the East, it has come to an end this afternoon. Philadelphia eliminates the world champion Boston Celtics by a final score of 83-77. Meanwhile, Houston eliminates Washington. And the question now is whether or not the Philadelphia 76ers can win it all. For Billy Cunningham, Brett Musburger saying so long. The doubleheader game is next. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.